What's up, Bruins? Welcome back to the What's Bruin podcast by Bruin Productions. Today with me, we have the lovely cast of Little Women. Today we have Salma as Joe,
Hi, hello.
Ayana Turner as Meg,
Hi, y'all.
and then Quetzal Alcaraz as Lori.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good, Lily.
I'm
How
good.
are you?
I'm good, yeah.
I'm great.
I'm good. I'm your host, Lily Meckes, by the way. So, I got a few questions for you about Little Women.
All right.
Let's see. So, your questions for today are, why did you go for the role you did, and who was your first pick?
You go first, Selma. Okay, so long story short, growing up, I read Little Women a lot. Joe was always my favorite character. And when I found out we were doing Little Women, Joe was kind of the only character I wanted to be, so I went for her. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, I went for Meg, and I got it because, I'm a baddie like that. But I loved watching the movies, and I was like, oh, my God, like, Meg suits me in a way. She wants a family. She wants, she has big dreams. And I was like, I can be her. And I did be her.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So basically a few weeks after our production of Clue, me and Summer were sitting looking through some different shows and stuff that we could do. And I saw the Little Women one, and we didn't really talk about it, but I was like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool to play Laurie in that? And then we kind of forgot about it. And then Miss Smith was like, guys, we're doing Little Women. I was like, oh, like I can totally do this now. So I learned the lines, and I went for the part, and I got it.
Nice. That sounds really nice. Let's see. What was your favorite part of this whole process? Like, what did you like about practicing? What did you like about Tech Week? Like, what was your favorite process?
My favorite part of the process was getting close to my cast, I would say. We spent a lot of time outside of school hanging out, trying to bond so we can create that dynamic of being sisters. And with Marmee, also Hill scene. I love that scene so much when Lori proposes to Joe. So, yeah.
Yes, I remember you guys when we hung out because, for those of you who don't know, I was Marmee. And so I remember inviting you guys to my house, and there's like a little ranch there, and you guys were like so freaked out by this
Yeah.
barn. I told you that had a ghost story. Like, you legit thought it was haunted.
I'm afraid of ghosts.
You were afraid of ghosts. Meanwhile, I was being polite to it. And I think it worked because she gave us a wonderful
She did.
show. Okay, and Lori, a.k.a. Quetzal, what you got for us?
I think my favorite part of the whole process was, well, obviously I love going to the rehearsals and, working on the show. But I love seeing the show grow from like when we're very like first starting to like what we have at the end. And like obviously in Tech Week it's super stressful, but that's my favorite part, just like seeing it like kind of go over that little edge, and we're like it's a show. So that's really, really cool to see. And I mean, I think my fellow actors would agree.
I do agree.
Yeah, it was really nice to see the process because like I remember being curious, like, are some people going to be able to do this? But everyone just kicked butt.
They did.
Ayana, did you answer?
No, I didn't.
Do you want to answer?
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Ayana,
Salma. My favorite part, I would agree with Selma, was getting to know my cast members. I felt like in the beginning, I wasn't too confident with them because I was like, or like within myself, I didn't feel like we meshed well together. But once we like had that bonding time outside of school
with the ghost.
yeah, it was perfect.
It was cool.
Yeah, what about you, Quetzal? Like, oh wait, you already answered.
I mean, well, I will say that they definitely had. I'm in the other cast for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
But it was, if you watch the show, it was pretty clear on stage the chemistry that the other cast had. I mean, our cast did a great job, an amazing job. But it was just that extra edge that having that bonding between the actors gave them on stage. It was really cool to see. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I love theater so much.
Yeah, it was
'cause,
awesome.
like, you just get bonds. Like, you get like familial bonds. Like, we're chosen family. And so now, what was the hardest part of
start?
this? I know there's a lot of problems, but what was like the hardest?
Some.
Why do I have to start? Okay.
I can go first.
Okay, please.
Whoever.
I think the hardest part for me personally, we discussed this in class, was just changing. It was hectic. The transitions were weird. I didn't like it. I was too hot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I would agree with Fiona. I had a lot of like costume changes, that was my own like free will to do so. But it was really
Yeah.
hectic backstage because there were so many people backstage, and then they were in the way and they weren't being like helpful.
Yeah.
But then also, I've never had like problems memorizing lines, but I had a lot of monologues this show. So it took me a little bit longer to try to memorize those and try to portray her in a way that I think everyone else would like her and not just me. So,
That's all.
I think last year we did She Kills Monsters, and there was a lot of quick changes in that show. Ayana wasn't in that show, and Salma wasn't in it too much, so she didn't see all the quick changes. But it was definitely a change because in that show there was a lot more, I think, collaboration on the quick changes and on all our changes that we had to do. And I think that it was a big step to having to move from that into kind of a lot more chaotic nature. But I mean, we pulled it off in the end, so it was really cool to see. But that was definitely hard. It was a lot of changes in between scenes and just kind of getting our actors out there by the time we needed to be out there.
Yeah.
So that was definitely more difficult, like the organization stuff. But we got it in the end. It was cool.
We did.
It was a
Yeah,
really
you
good
guys
production.
really ate it.
Yeah, it
Like,
was
you
fun.
guys did so good. And finally, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking
Ooh.
about doing theater or is about to go into their first production?
It's a good one.
Somebody want to answer that first?
I'll go.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I would say just give it your all. I don't think you should hold yourself back. Just have fun with it. I don't think you have to always be so like hard on yourself. I think you just have fun with it and just
Yeah.
go with the flow.
For sure, yeah. Someone, do you want me to go? Or do you want to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think definitely go for it. I genuinely think theater is like one of like the best things that could help you, skills wise, and I think it'll help you in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just apply yourself, put in the effort, hope that your fellow cast members will put in the effort. And if you do your best and learn your lines and get in character and just put all the effort you can, you're going to do great. I mean, even
Exactly.
like you can like, if you just apply yourself, you're going to be fine, especially in the world of theater where there's just so many options for how to play your character, how to interpret a scene. So it's a really creative environment for anyone to, partake in. So
I agree.
Just have fun with it.
especially, yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on this podcast. You guys did a lovely job. I hope you all do best in college because you're all seniors. You're all going to
Yeah.
graduate.
Yeah.
We're all going to leave.
Yeah.
I hope you guys continue with theater because you guys are really amazing at it. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of What's Brewing Podcast. And remember, it's a great day to be a Bruin.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah,
Thank you
thank you.
guys.
Thank you.